Checka Pro Joe here on Checka Pro Radio. A lot of us spend a lot of time in our homes, which means we are living in the air that is circulating in our home. So I want to talk about air quality inside the home. So I've asked Nathan Shafer from Shafer Heating and Cooling to join me today on the program. Hello, Nathan.
Hey Jim, how are you?
I am living the dream. Thank you so much. Air quality, we hear a lot about it today. Now, years ago, people spent more time in natural fresh air. They opened their windows, they spent more time outside. Office buildings weren't sealed up. So today we spend a lot of our times, even our cars, I think, are sealed up more in these sealed areas, and we spend a lot of time at home. Well, is that air really good for us, and how can we improve the quality of it?
Yeah, so I mean, studies show, that just like you said, we're spending so much more time in our homes. Our houses are more airtight, which is awesome, right? When it comes to efficiency, we want to have them airtight, insulated really well. But man, we've got to treat that space because the air, the quality inside the houses now, studies show are becoming so much more polluted, and oftentimes, way more polluted than the outside air. But yet that's what we're spending so much time on what we think is our safe place, right? It's our home. We don't picture that as being maybe a place of danger or harmful to our health. And so very, very, very important and much different now how we need to treat that space in our homes compared to years ago. I mean, some of us may still live in, an older, what we call a drafty farmhouse, right? Or just an older house in town, whatever. And, you almost feel the air coming through, terrible for the efficiency standpoint. However, great for the fresh air being introduced and keeping that air moving throughout. So there's lots of different ways that air can be treated inside the home. There's kind of, several different categories that we want to look at, whether it be the particulates in the air, the things that we sometimes we can see floating around, but oftentimes a lot of we can't see because it's so small. However, we're breathing it in. It's collecting in the house. You're dusting all the time, and that can come down to the proper types of filtration that we use. So are we using just a standard 1-inch throwaway filter that can only catch so much? It's kind of picture it like a chain link fence, and you throw a basketball at it, it's going to catch it, right? But you start getting smaller, and anything maybe smaller than a golf ball is going to go right through it.
Mhm.
Well, picture that as your 1-inch filter. It's going to catch the big particulates, but man, all the small stuff that you can't see is passing right through, and it's getting caught in the blower wheel. It's getting caught in the heat exchanger. It's getting caught in the evaporator coil for your air conditioner, and that's just decreasing the efficiency of your system, causing premature failures, increasing utility rates, and of course, you're breathing it, and it's not good for your system. So, causing more dust in the house and everything. So, there's the particulates. So, there's the 1-inch filter. Then there's what we call media filtration. And so that's going to catch a lot more of those smaller particles, up to 99%. And then there's air cleaners. Electronic polarized media air cleaners. And that's actually going to put a positive charge to the negative and positive ions in the air and cause those to gather together so that they become bigger particles to catch in that air cleaner. So now we're really truly cleaning that air. Then, of course, you have your HEPA filtration, which is top of the line, keeping that space very, very extremely clean and healthy. So that's going to be the particulate side. Then you've got things that you can clean in the air as far as VOCs. Everything in our house is off gassing. So maybe you just recently painted the walls or put new flooring down, brought some new furniture, and all these things are off gassing. Drywall, but everything does. The stain on your trim and different things. And so all those chemicals and things that are terrible for us. I mean, cancer and all these different things. You hear it every day. I was talking to somebody just yesterday, and it was like so and so just passed away, and so just got diagnosed with this, and so it's just cancer. All these things that we're either consuming in our bodies and or breathing, and oftentimes, unfortunately, it's coming from right inside our homes. We don't even realize it's the things we can't see. It's out of sight, out of mind, and we don't know what we don't know. So there's ways that we can treat for that too, to help with VOCs and things off gassing and stuff, and that's where UV technology comes in, as well as for odors and things of that nature as well. So there's all these different areas, and humidity plays a huge role into that as well in the indoor air quality. So where are those humidity levels in the home? Not only for the comfort side, not only for the health of your home side, your flooring, your woodwork, your piano, whatever. I mean, a lot of those things have warranties, and they'll state right in the warranty of, hey, if your humidity is above X percentage, oftentimes it's around 50% or 55%, then those warranties are voided for that new hardwood flooring you just got, or that baby grand piano, or whatever the case may be. And so you'll notice your doors are swelling, or floors are swelling, or squeaking, or shrinking because of the humidity going up and down. And with that, organisms, they absorb moisture from the air. And so if we don't keep those relative humidity levels in the right range inside the home, It's also not going to be comfortable, but you're also going to cause a very unhealthy habitat for those things to be able to grow. And once again, we're breathing and inhaling that. So lots of different areas. It's amazing. One of those things that you don't see, no one oftentimes, unfortunately, don't talk about a lot. But man, it's so crucial to the air quality and to the health, to the comfort, to you and your family inside your home. So
Yeah, there are so many things to consider, and we don't really think much about it. Something that's important to understand, you talked about humidity, is for most of us, our central air conditioning system, or any AC unit for that matter, is your major tool to reduce humidity in your home. That's why
mhm,
it condenses, that's why there's water that comes out of it. And it's important to have that tuned right, balanced right. You wanna make sure that, your AC doesn't cycle off too soon. It may cool down, but is it pulling the humidity out? So all of that is in play.
absolutely, absolutely, kind of like that can even go into sizing and different things. As far as short cycling, shutting off. I mean, that's one of the primary jobs of your air conditioner is to dehumidify. And so, if it is just kicking off, or really short run cycles, it's not going to do a good job at dehumidifying. And now there's some applications too in some houses, or actually, I shouldn't say some. There's actually a lot of times where whole home high capacity dehumidifiers are necessary too, and humidity has a stack effect. And so, coming from the basement or the crawl space and different things, and it rises up through, right? So it soaks into the floor joists and the subfloors and works its way up through. And we feel it here in the main floor and the second floor. If you go upstairs and check the RH level, it's a little bit higher. And you go in your attic, it's even a little bit higher yet. It rises just like heat does. And so, if we can obviously want to treat the source or where it's coming from, and oftentimes it could just be coming from the foundation walls, or whatever. You don't even necessarily, I think you don't see it, but it's there, it's prevalent. And so, treating that makes a huge difference. And obviously, there's ways that we can do that as well. And when it does come to, I know we're talking about the quality there, but when it comes to the comfort too, we're talking about humidity. Just remember that, hey, every 5% in relative humidity feels like 1 degree in temperature to us, to the skin. And so the difference of, let's say, setting the thermostat at 70, and we'll just use a 50% humidity, for example. If it was 55% humidity in the home, that would actually feel like 71. If it was 60% humidity, it would feel like 72, and or vice versa in the wintertime as it gets drier. If it was 70 and it dropped to 45, it's going to feel like 69. 40 is going to feel like 60. So you can, and then I keep turning the thermostat down. It's just still not comfortable. Still feels sticky. Or in the wintertime, I keep turning it up. And so just some things to remember that where that relative humidity comes into a huge factor. Like I said, for the health side, on the organisms that either can or can't grow, and also the comfort side.
Yeah, great tips here. Nathan, as always, thank you so much for joining me today.
Hey, you bet. Thank you.